Hello! It's been a while since I've done a video. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm really excited to share this with you. This is my copy of a deck I'm very excited about. This is the Pathfinder Oracle deck. I participated in the Kickstarter and I received the guidebook, the spread cloth, the little wooden yes, no coin. Here's the business card. And the mini deck. Isn't it so cute? And even though I received this months ago, and in fact, here's a look at the spread cloth. It's really nice. It's printed on a bandana type material, and it's a really nice dark screen printing. So we'll keep that aside for a moment. So even though I've had this for quite a while, I have not had an opportunity to do a full unboxing or a walkthrough because I have been intensely busy with several other projects. And I know, like, how busy do you have to be to not even open a deck that you received? Like, yeah, that's how busy I've been. So let's get into this. So this is by the same artist who is behind the Wooden Tarot, what other one? The Earthbound Oracle. He also did a Lenormand deck. I do not own the Lenormand deck. I keep thinking I should get it just for completion's sake, but I don't read Lenormand. I really like the Earthbound Oracle. That's one that I use pretty frequently, actually. So this deck is printed on the diagonal angle, which I think makes for a really interesting design, and you can read it by placing the cards on the edges of each other to develop novel spreads and more meaningful patterns as you read. So let's do a walkthrough. Wow. If you follow the artist's Instagram, and in fact here I'll show you the business card so that you can see all of the contact information. Of course, this is Andrew Swartz with skullgarden.net, and you can watch his creative process. I'm pretty sure I follow him on Instagram as well as Tumblr, but yeah, he shares a lot of his in-progress shots, and the creation of this deck was so exciting to watch because, and you kind of get an impression of this in the images, but there was just layers and layers and layers of texture because these were all traditionally painted. They're not digital work. And so it was so amazing to see each image come together. I love the blues in this deck. They're blues that kind of border on a turquoise green. Very, I don't know, it's probably reductive to call it a desert palette because obviously there's a lot of very desert imagery in here, but this is really cool. So many, well, tarot decks, but oracle decks more generally are very sylvan, very forest glady. And so seeing a cartomancy deck that focuses on desert imagery and a desert palette the greens, that turquoise color, the purples, that sage green. And I grew up in the desert, and so I know these colors very well. And these are desert colors to me. The sandstone reds, the iron oxide reds. Wow, this deck really speaks to me. The colors speak to me in a way I didn't expect. That's really beautiful. And this is an image you could look at from any angle, although the moons are different on each corner. Interesting, the cup card here has human hands, and on one or two cards we saw a possible human figure in the distance, but this is not a deck that features humanity. Ah, there's the cat card. This is not a human-centric deck. And I have to say, I kind of like that. I'm really curious to see what kind of readings this deck will enjoy giving. Because I feel like I'm going to get more use out of this than I have this artist's other two decks that I own, the Wooden Tarot or the Earthbound Oracle. Because, like I said, I use the Earthbound Oracle not super terribly often, but it's the Oracle deck that I probably use most often aside from the Arcane Bullshit Oracle. But it's definitely not one that I use too often unless I'm reading at like a festival or something like that, or a party or a private event. It's not one that comes out when I do one-on work with clients. And the Wooden Oracle, or the Wooden Tarot, as beautiful as it is and as engaging as I find it, it's just not one that I have ever really used as a divination tool. And mostly I hang on to my copy because I bought it directly from the artist himself. And so I kind of have a sentimental attachment to it. But I've never really gotten a lot out of it as a reading tool. But this one I feel very, very differently about. I feel really connected to it, very engaged, very drawn into it. And a lot of Oracle decks don't do much for me. I don't feel very intrigued by them, or I don't feel like there's a lot of content often, or like a lot of I don't know how to put it. Like, it's no slam against Oracle decks, because I know a lot of people get a lot of really great use out of them, but for me, they've never offered a lot in terms of like reading capacity. But like I said, there's certainly been a few Oracle decks that I really resonate with. So it's definitely a very personal preference and a very personal taste in divination tools. But this one is definitely one that I feel very connected to, and very like, oh, there's something here for me to really explore. I like this Coyote card a lot. Oh, there's the little mouse. I remember seeing this one online. The cosmic egg. Oh, that's nice. The color and the texture of the backgrounds are just so stunning in person. Oh, the UFO. Oh, perfect for desert. Oh my gosh. Oh, here's a look at the back. And this is fully reversible, every side. It's not perfectly identical, but it's identical enough that you're not going to really get a strong sense of which way the card is oriented. So that is a walkthrough of the Pathfinder Oracle deck. This is the full-size one. It also comes in this very, very cute pocket-sized mini edition. It's like 2 inches by 2 inches. This is like tiny, tiny pocket size. I love it. It's very cute. It's probably too small for me to use successfully, but I do like it. This full-size deck is perfect for my hand size and the way I like to work. I'm really excited to get started with this. I wish I wish I hadn't had this on my shelf for quite so many months. I wish I had gotten into this a whole lot sooner. I wish I'd been working with this all fall and winter. I've had a couple let's see, I had some events. I've had, several clients that I've worked with who, might have really enjoyed having this as an option to select from. It just would have been really nice to have had this in my my toolkit, so to speak, rather than on a shelf in my cabinet with my other decks being unopened. And it would have done, I think, all of us a whole lot more good to have been opened. So I know I've kept you all waiting for an update for quite some time. I have several other decks that I am hoping to acquire in the not too distant future, and I will certainly do walkthroughs and reviews. The cardstock is pretty standard, semi-glossy, like tarot cardstock. It feels nice. It's not too slick. It's not too stiff. It's not too cheap. This is right where I like it. I think it's going to shuffle really well. It's nothing that's going to get in my way of, like, nothing too stiff or anything like that. I was working with one of my decks this morning that has a gilded edge, and man, they look so nice, but they do take a little bit of breaking in, I feel like, before they are really very cooperative when it comes to shuffling. So here is the Earthbound Oracle once again. Here's the little 2-half box that it comes in. You can order it from skullgarden.net. Let me double check that. Yes, skullgarden.net. That's the artist's info. Yeah, I like this. If you like the theme, if you like the colors, definitely consider checking it out. I like this a lot. I'm very excited to read with it. I think it will give some really interesting readings for people. Unlike the other, I don't think that the artist released a notebook or a little white book for the Lenormand or not. I assume not. He really historically hasn't done guidebooks for any of his decks. But this one does, in fact, have a guidebook. So that does provide a little bit of insight into the meanings that the artist intended to associate with the cards, if that is a way that you like to approach working with decks. So that's also something that to keep in mind if you want to consider purchasing this one for yourself. All right, thank you very much, and I will see you next time, hopefully much sooner than this last gap. might indicate. Thanks. Bye.